How's it going, everybody? MyCupOfTea here, back to a reaction video, and today we're here a new video for Shocktober. Yay, yay. Now we're here to watch a video from a new channel on this channel called Dead Meat. Now I have some experience with watching videos on Dead Meat. Back in my college days, I used to watch quite a bit of videos from him. I think the Saw series and the Friday the 13th was like the main two I watched, like I remember. Because I don't watch movies myself, I just for some reason I can't sit around to watch a movie. I don't know, it was weird. I can't explain it. But today we're gonna be watching Scream 1996 Kill Count. Apparently this is a recount because I think he actually uploaded this before in the past. Yeah, it's right there, 1996, 6 years ago. So I'm guessing maybe this is like a enhanced version of Scream. Maybe he missed some stuff 6 years ago. I'm not sure. I think I did watch this video before, but I don't remember what happened. Oh, and this was requested by the homie Kendra Corbridge. Bam! Shouts out to you, Kendra. Shouts out to you. Thank you for recommending me this fire series, Dead Meat. I did not think I'll be watching the Dead Meat on this channel, but hey, I'm happy to hear it. Also, one of my friends told me to watch a movie called Insidious. I just have to make the time to watch it. I never actually made a reaction to a movie on the channel before, so that's gonna be pretty interesting to do. But yeah, hopefully I can find some time to do that. But yeah, let's start this video. No more delay. Let's go into it. Scratch that. I forgot that this is like my reaction channel, so I haven't subscribed to him yet. So let me do that right now. Because on like my main account channel, I am subscribed to him. So here we go. Let's get into it. Kill count, recount, Scream 1996.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A Janisse, and I am so MFing excited, y'all, because we are once again looking at Scream 1996, which competes with The Thing as my all-time favorite horror movie. I can't say enough about how much Scream has influenced me. I remember running scared from the opening scene as a 7 or 8 year old.
I remember this scene.
Proud of myself when I overcame that fear just a couple years later. I watched the first 3 installments religiously during my first horror movie obsession, back when I learned HTML just to code my own website. While I didn't catch Scream 4 when it first came out, it was filmed in my college town of Ann Arbor, Michigan. And of course, I had a freaking cameo in Scream 5.
You did?
The coolest thing Chelsea and I have ever done.
I didn't know that. Oh,
this franchise means the world.
I'm married. I'm just kidding. Have a good job getting married, guys.
And these kill counts will not be unbiased. But honestly, no review is. I'm just being upfront about how important this series, and especially this first film, is to me. I mean, I wrote about it in a published book. But Scream isn't just important to me. It's important to the horror genre overall. I'd argue it's one of the 5 most influential horror films ever made. It kicked off a second wave of slashers, the subgenre so integral to horror, people often think they're one and the same.
Yeah, true, yeah. Because I think, well, first off, the 5 slasher, I think it's Halloween, Scream, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. Will that count? I think that counts. Yeah, and Michael Myers. No, that's Halloween. What's the 5th one? I can't think of it. Is it? It's not Texas Chainsaw Massacre, is it? I don't think it's that. What's another horror iconic series? I can't think of right now. Might be Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I don't know. But all right, let's go back.
I'd argue it's one of the 5 most influential horror films ever made. It kicked off a second wave of slashers, a subgenre so integral to horror, people often think they're one and the same. Slashers were made huge by Halloween and Friday the 13th, and ruled the genre in the early 80s. But by the mid-1990s, they were a joke of their former selves, and the horror genre had largely disappeared from the zeitgeist. That's not to say there weren't good horror flicks still coming out. There were, but to the general audience, horror films were just stereotypes.
Oh god, Leprechaun.
Scream came in and acknowledged that the genre was full of tropes, but not in a jokey way like Jason Lives had done a decade prior. Instead, Scream kept the stakes high and the horror grounded. The characters talked about the same horror movies the audience had seen in real life. It might be hard to understand now, when every movie is filled with references, but back then, it was unusual for characters to show this specificity of pop culture knowledge. It wasn't every day you were hearing references to The Howling.
What's that werewolf movie with E.T.'s mom in it?
The Howling. The whip-smart script was written by Kevin Williamson, whose work perfectly captured the spirit of teenagers in the 90s. After Scream, Williamson would create Dawson's Creek and write more horror films that encapsulated the era. Finding a director proved a bit of a challenge though, with George Romero and Sam Raimi both passing on the script. Wes Craven also turned it down at first, but changed his mind after hearing Drew Barrymore was attached. And after a young fan at a convention had told him his movies had gotten too soft. Craven didn't start directing until he was in his 30s,
okay,
when he made Last House on the Left, a zero-budget rape revenge film. He'd go on to make a few more horror flicks before creating A Nightmare on Elm Street in 1984. That gave the world Freddy Krueger, the biggest horror icon of the 80s. But I guess that wasn't enough for old Wes, since he made another monster hit with Scream a dozen years later. Wes would stick with the series for the rest of his life, with Scream 4 his last directorial effort before he passed away in 2015. Thanks in large part to his efforts, Scream is one of the strongest horror franchises through and through. Every installment gives a sort of state of the genre, discussing and reflecting on horror's tendencies at any given time. The first dissects slashers, the second explores the rules of a sequel, and the third caps off the original trilogy by going full-blown Hollywood. A decade later, Scream 4 came out, guns a-blazing at torture porn and the proliferation of remakes. Another decade would pass before the fifth film tackled so-called elevated horror, and more pointedly, the more recent requel phenomenon. Aside from the first film, no Scream is perfect, but no Scream is bad either. It's great. As for the original, it's one of those movies where everything just came together. It's got a hell of a cast, an engaging whodunit mystery, and fucking Ghostface, man. Everybody knows Ghostface, and his voice.
Hello, Sydney.
The first three Screams were released between 1996 and 2000, and were then directly parodied by Scary Movie.
I was about to say, y'all remember Scary Movie? Yeah, they directly parodied that. I think that was like the first intro scene, Scary Movie, and over here, Ghostface whooping out the, what do you call that? The silicone thing? The plastic surgery? You know.
Movie later that year. In other words, Scream was the horror subgenre of the late 90s. I used to take that for granted, since I was a kid at the time. But looking back, it's hard not to appreciate its impact. Scream's funny, it's scary, and it was a massive success. And it all started with a phone call. Oh, hey, speak of the devil. Hello?
Hello, Jamothy. I want to play a game.
Who is this?
You should worry less about that, and more about keeping your precious count filmable.
Oh my god.
No.
What do you want?
It's simple, Mr. Counter. You get all these sponsorships. Now it's time to prove you know what you're talking about. Answer 3 questions about today's sponsor, RECOUNT, and the kill count script can survive.
Is that all? Let's do this.
This man did
If you say so. How much battery life do you get on one charge?
Huh. Child's play. 8 hours of playtime and 32 hours in the battery case.
Dude, we're gonna watch it. Why not? This is interesting.
That's just a warm-up.
It's an interesting ad thing right here.
Question. How many colors do RECOUNT earbuds come in?
Okay.
It's a little bit difficult right there.
Mine are flare red, and then there's carbon black, rose gold, frost white, and electric blue.
I would have died right there. I think would have been gone.
How many 5-star reviews does RECOUNT have?
That would be 50,000. I mean, is this the best you've got? I'm almost embarrassed for you.
Fine. You want a challenge? What are the 3 RECOUNT sound profiles?
Oh,
okay. That would be, pure sound, ideal for podcasts and audiobooks.
Okay.
Balanced sound, ideal for music like jazz, pop, and rock. And, bass sound, ideal for music like hip-hop and EDM. Boom! Cough up the script, bitch!
Give me that.
Damn it! How do you know so much?
Give me that script.
I love my RECOUNTs, bro. I use them all the time. From when I'm working to when I'm working out. And they fit in my ear a lot better than I fit through doggy doors.
Okay.
Check out RECOUNTs for yourself and get 15% off your purchase at the link in the description. Or go to buyrecount.com/deadmeat. Now let's...
That was a good sponsor thing right there. That was good.
Sit back and take a trip to NorCal in the 90s and find out how many kills there were in Scream.
Alright, kill count. Oh, I should probably mention, yeah. If you don't know what kill count is, the main thing is to go through the movie and see what the kills were. But he will also give you a summary of the movie as well. So it's not just like, oh, kills happen here. No, we're gonna go through the entire movie, give you a little summary of what happened, but also we're gonna focus on the kills though. Alright, let's get it.
The movie begins with a phone call.
Oh gosh.
Oh man, someone dialed title card. Woodsboro High School student Casey Becker answers the phone to a velvety, sexy voice. She says the caller has the wrong number, but he calls back again anyway. They wind up talking about Jiffy Pop and then about scary movies.
You like scary movies? What's your favorite scary movie?
They name drop Halloween and Wes Craven's own baby, A Nightmare on Elm Street.
I like that movie. It was scary.
Wow, well, the first one was, but the rest sucked.
Oh, come on, Wes. Even New Nightmare?
I did not write that line.
Oh, fair enough. I mean, you can't knock New Nightmare. It was Craven's testing ground for meta horror, released 2 years prior to Scream. It featured the actors and Craven playing real versions of themselves.
Oh, never
an evil
heard of this
entity
one.
takes on Freddy Krueger's appearance and tries to infiltrate the real world. Wes Craven's New Nightmare is a great movie, but it didn't resonate with audiences the way Scream did. I think the difference is the comedy in Kevin Williamson's script. New Nightmare is way drier and takes itself more seriously. Of course, despite its humor, Scream keeps scares as its priority.
Why do you want to know my name?
I want to know who I'm looking at.
Fucking chills.
Oh,
This
yeah.
whole opening scene,
Not
one
talking
of the
no more.
best in horror history, is an homage to the opening scene of When a Stranger Calls. Scream's references to other horror movies are way too vast to mention in a kill count. I know I've said this before, but I do hope to make a separate video detailing them sometime. And if I don't, well, I'm sorry, okay? Before you can pull a magnum and say, pop, pop, the caller's voice changes from sexy to scary.
You hang up on me again, I'll gut you like a fish, understand?
This threat of home invasion gets Casey jumping scared, and she reaches a fever pitch when she sees her boyfriend Steve Orth tied up outside. The caller tells her
How
she
did
can
this
try
happen?
to save his life while creating a catchphrase for a puppet.
I wanna play a game.
The game is Ghostface's Horror Trivia Night. Casey correctly names Michael Myers as the killer in Halloween, but fumbles the ball when it comes to Friday the 13th.
How? No, it's Jason's mother in the first movie. It's always Jason's mother in the first movie. It's his mother, and then it's Jason later on. It's always his mother. That's always.
Jason!
As any pedantic, horror-loving kid knew to annoy their friends with, like me, Pamela Voorhees was the killer in Friday the 13th.
Yep.
Adult Jason showed up in the sequel. And don't even get me started about the hockey mask. Because Casey got it wrong, Steve loses his life. He gets stabbed to death in the dark. The lighting and editing is a little cheesy, but it is a solid evisceration in the end. Especially in the unrated version. Them guts be sloppy! Effects for Scream were done by the ubiquitous K&B Effects group. For Steve's death, they made a chair with no back so actor Kevin Patrick Walls could kneel behind it, with his upper half sticking out over a fake abdomen. The belly was filled with rubber, latex, gelatin, and fake blood that then fell to the ground, something the MPAA was not a fan of, which is why it's cut in the R-rated version. With a chair through Casey's window, we're off to the races. There's no place to hide, but Casey arms herself with a knife, and even uses the phone as a weapon when she needs to. Eventually, though, while going the distance, Casey's caught by Ghostface. Probably shouldn't have started running in slow motion, Case. That was dumb. The violence here is much more realistic than a lot of slashers, and even more impactful is the emotional moment as Casey tries to call out for her parents. They end up hearing her through the phone as she's stabbed to death by Ghostface. They helplessly listen as their teenage daughter takes her final breath. Even worse is when they come outside. It is not a pretty sight. Casey's death was done in a similar way to Steve's, combining Barrymore and a fake corpse, but this time they made a full body dummy since it had to be hanging from a tree. The death of Drew Barrymore's character was a huge twist for the theater-going audience. The movie had marketed the shit out of her in Baltimore.
Oh, they did?
So
Oh,
it
wow.
became a surprise, and also a reference to Janet Leigh in Psycho, who was billed as the star but died 47 minutes in. Drew had her beat by 34. Interestingly, it was Barrymore's idea to take the role of the cold open victim. She was originally cast as Sidney Prescott, the actual final girl, but changed her mind about starring in the film only 6 weeks before production began. I'm not sure why. Maybe she only wanted to work the 5 days it took them to shoot the opening, which took place in April 1996 at the very start of production. Taking over for her was the 22-year-old Neve Campbell, who had been in The Craft and 2 seasons of Party of 5. Campbell's acting is the bedrock of Scream's success. Sidney Prescott is my favorite final girl of all damn time, even if her taste in dudes is greasy-haired window climbers like Billy Loomis.
That's how it was back then.
Played by Skeet Ulrich, whose intensity is only matched by his good looks. He's well known now among a certain audience as Jughead's dad in Riverdale. Billy desperately wants to get into Sydney's pants, but she hasn't been interested in intimate affairs this past year. Sorry about your dry dick, Bill, but try to have some understanding. Sid's still mourning her mom.
Only a year ago, Maureen Prescott, wife and mother, was found raped and murdered not far from this peaceful town square.
That human highlighter is Gail Weathers, loudest clown at the media circus that descends on Woodsboro High. Media criticism is a big part of the Scream films. Then 30-year-old Kevin Williamson was inspired to write Scream, originally entitled Scary Movie, while house-sitting by himself one weekend. He watched a sensationalized news report about the 1990 Florida serial killer deemed the Gainesville Ripper. He was so freaked out he called a friend for comfort, and they talked talked about their favorite scary movies. Williamson's script was immediately popular, and a bidding war broke out between production companies. It was ultimately purchased by Dimension Films, which, along with its parent company, Miramax, was founded by the Weinstein brothers, Harvey and Bob. Bob specifically made some major decisions for this film, like releasing it in December and changing its name from Scary Movie to Scream, inspired by the Michael and Janet Jackson duet of the same name. I fucking hate that these fucks are part of this movie's DNA. In my research, I kept having to see the same picture of that nasty ogre and his fuckhead brother. It was gross. Sydney's track.
You gotta separate the art from the separate. These got separated. We can still enjoy the movie.
Tragic recent past earns her sympathy from Principal Fonzie in the Woodsboro PD. It's headed by Sheriff Burke, played by Joseph Whipp, who also played a cop in Nightmare on Elm Street. Woodsboro's deputy, Dwight Dewey Riley.
I like that. Like let's say like it's again a cop in one movie, he'll play that same role in another movie. I like that. It's just like, oh wait, I just saw you in another movie before. I like that. I don't know. I like that. I don't watch movies, but I remember watching like his summaries, and that would happen too. And like I think Saw might have happened in Friday. I don't know.
Joseph Whipp, who also played a cop in Nightmare on Elm Street. Woodsboro's deputy, Dwight Dewey Riley, is extra caring towards Sydney. That's cause he's the older brother of her best friend Tatum, played by Rose McGowan. Sid and Tatum Tots hang out with the rest of the gang at the Friends Fountain, which includes Grease Bucket Billy, Tatum's boyfriend Stu Macher, and Randy Meeks, the geeky fifth wheel of the group.
That's not a real name.
Movie references and talks in silly voices.
Did you really put her liver in the mailbox? Because I heard that they found her liver in the mailbox.
Not to be outdone by Jamie Kennedy, Matthew Lillard makes sure to choose some scenery himself.
That's why.
Leave her alone.
What?
Ow, liver. It was a joke.
And he will choose so much more.
I look back at that performance, I'm like, what was he letting me do?
Sydney gets back
that
home,
was a horrible. That's not a...
Earlier, her dad told her he was going out of town for a convention. Wonder if it's the same one Rand Peltzer got stuck at. Sid's house, like Casey's, is huge and empty, so she probably shouldn't be there all alone. Not with you-know-who calling around.
Hello, Sydney.
The iconic voice on the phone was provided by Roger L. Jackson, who would later go on to voice Mojo Jojo.
You voiced Mojo
Jojo? Craven never let the other actors meet Jackson, keeping him a scary stranger voice while they filmed their scenes.
When I'm working, I have a monitor there, so I can see through the camera's POV, though
That's
they
creepy.
can't see me.
That's creepy.
The caller once
like
again
that.
plugs my interview show when he asks Sydney, "What's your favorite scary movie?" In response, Sydney talks shit about the genre.
They're all the same. Some stupid killer stalking some big-breasted girl who can't act, who's always running up the stairs when she should be going out the front door. It's insulting.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's put that to that test. Let's put it to the test. Let's see what you got. Because I forgot what happened. I think I know what happens at the end of this, but the middle portions, I have no idea what happens. But let's see what you got.
Her shallow judgment of horror is met with the caller breaking out his scary voice.
Do you want to die, Sydney? Your mother sure didn't.
Ghostface appears from inside her house and attacks Nev Campbell's stunt double. They talk joke, but she fends him off with a kick that sends him flying. With the front door locked, she's forced to be a stereotype, but keeps the Ghostface killer out of her bedroom long enough for her, 14 4K internet to connect her to the police. A Billy boy suddenly pops in through the window, hugs Sid, and drops his cellular telephone. Why, I hear only witches have those devices. Witch! Ghost! Damn it, Dewey, why would you hold it like that? Billy is arrested despite his claims of innocence, and Tatum rolls up in her toy car to be there for her best friend.
Let me make sure I knew what happened, actually. Hold on. Why did she run away?
Internet to connect her to the police. A Billy boy suddenly pops in through the window, hugs Sid, and drops his cellular telephone. Why, I hear only witches have those devices. Witch! Ghost! Damn it, Dewey, why would you hold it like that? Billy is arrested despite his claims of innocence.
Here, but here we
Tatum
go.
rolls up in her toy car to be there for her best friend. I love Dewey as this boyish Barney Fife who reverts to being a kid when he learns that Sydney's staying overnight with them.
Does Mom know?
Yes, Doofus.
He's such a funny leading male character.
God damn it, Dewey.
What did Mama tell you? When I wear this badge, you treat me like a man of the law.
Billy and his werewolf-looking dad maintain his innocence, but Sydney don't know what to think about her boyfriend. She definitely know what to think about Gail Weathers, though, who's slinking around the station looking for a scoop. Gail's been writing a book about the murder of Sydney's mom, but Sid didn't exactly put in a pre-order.
I'll send you a copy.
Oh, thank you.
That happened today.
Deserves
I bet
that.
someone would make an auto-tune version that went viral.
Send you
Smell
a copy. Bam! Bitch went down.
There it is.
I'll
send you a copy. Bam! Sid, super bitch. Super bitch. Bam! Bitch went down.
Bam.
Sydney hates Gail because her book is trying to exonerate Cotton Weary, the man arrested for murdering Sydney's mother a year ago. Gail thinks Cotton is innocent, and if these latest killings are connected, maybe she could prove it.
If I'm right about this, I could save a man's life. Do you know what that could do for my book sales?
Pitch in the face with book sales. She approaches the case through the proudly stated 25-year-old Deputy Dewey. It doesn't take long for her to start whittling her way into his naive heart. Gail and Dewey's relationship is so fun to watch throughout the series, especially since it led to a real-life romance and marriage between David Arquette and Courtney Cox.
Very nice,
it all starts here with this well-written and well-acted conversation.
In a demographic study, I proved to be most popular amongst males 11 to 24. I guess I just missed you.
I'm 25. I was 24 for a whole year.
David Arquette is absolutely hilarious in this role. Dewey's my favorite, man, eating his little ice cream cone while discussing suspects. He even kind of misses putting his sunglasses on. God, he's the best. Dewey was originally written as a more muscly hunk, but after being cast as one of the high schoolers, David Arquette requested he play the deputy instead, partly because it meant he'd get to kiss Courtney Cox. Aside from possibly Drew Barrymore, the 31-year-old Cox was the most well-known of the cast, being 2 seasons deep into Friends. She had to lobby hard to get the role.
I don't like, she kind of looks familiar. I never watched Friends, but I've seen like some clips from Friends that I know that face. Okay.
The most well-known.
I've seen that person before in
2
Friends.
seasons deep into Friends. She had to lobby hard to get the role of Gale Weathers, since at first Craven didn't think she could be bitchy enough. Billy is released since his cell phone records are clean, but he's still guilty of being an asshole about Sydney's mom's death.
No, it's been a year.
Tomorrow. 1 year tomorrow.
I know. I think it's time you got over that. I mean,
it's only been a year.
When my
mom
left my dad, I accepted it. It's the way it is.
These are not the same. These are not the same things. Was it Billy? These are not the same things.
Factor it all to this guy.
Stupid.
The rest of the student body's just as bad, flapping their little ghost arms around with Christmas glee. After overhearing some shit talk in the shit closet,
maybe she's a slut, just like her mother.
Sydney gets
What's
attacked,
going on here?
but she escapes pretty
nice slide.
easily. Some people think this bathroom attack wasn't from a real Ghostface, but I don't see why it wouldn't be. Sure as clumsy as they usually are. In any case, it gets school canceled for the day, and Stu immediately declares he's having a party at his farmhouse. He'll carry all the women there. Principal Henry's not invited, but he'd be too busy anyway. Fawns in his hair in the mirror and pointing out Wes Craven's cameo that references his earlier horror hit.
Damn little shits.
What'd you call me?
Yeah, that's definitely a cameo. That's his.
Oh, Wes, you were so cute. Not sure why you're falling down while filming this, though. Hembry gets killed in his office by a Ghostface who was staying late after school. Wonder what club he was part of. Probably theater. How else would he get a sparkly-ass robe? Ghostface's costume is iconic, of course, but they had a hard time figuring out what he should look like.
Like back in high school, elementary school when I was my old place or old area. I had a Ghostface costume. I think I had the one where it's like was it a Ghostface costume? It was. I think I had the mask. It was like something where like I press this button and like blood comes out the mask, or blood like shows up on the mask and something like that. I liked it. It was cool. I liked it.
The script's costume is iconic, of course, but they had a hard time figuring out what he should look like. The script simply said a ghosty white mask. Howard Berger of K&B sketched a bunch of initial ideas, but they were way too grotesque and goblin-y to be taken seriously. Luck came upon production while location scouting at the house where they shot Hitchcock's Shadow of a Doubt. The perfect mask was found in a bedroom by producer Marianne Madalena, Wes Craven's longtime producing partner, who was born in Lansing and went to MSU. Go green? Just this once. At first, since they didn't own the copyright for the mask, K&B tried to sculpt their own imitation. Production began with this version, which can be seen in many shots of the opening and every scene with Principal Hembry, since Henry Winkler shot all of his stuff in one day right after they finished the opener. The K&B mask has squintier eyes and a smaller mouth, which is thinner at the bottom, thanks to Scream Trilogy for that info. Craven still preferred the original mask they found in that house though, and eventually they tracked down the makers, Fun World, a small New England company who agreed to let them use it as long as they were always given credit.
Being just a simple country boy that I am, I said, okay, that's fine. Just be sure that you, in the credits, say Ghostface, courtesy of Fun World Easter Unlimited, our parent company. And send $100.
Fun World.
I'm not saying that. You didn't ask for any money? There we go. I was waiting for the money part.
Masks were used for the rest of the production, and are even in the opening scene thanks to some reshot inserts. Everyone in Woodsboro has their own theories about who the killer is behind that mask. Horror expert Randy thinks that Billy's a guilty boy. Stu thinks it's Sydney's still missing father. Basically,
everybody's a suspect!
Billy lets Randy know he doesn't appreciate the accusation. Stu lets Randy know he does appreciate his earlobe. The town closes for curfew as Red Right Hand plays, the kick-ass dark cowboy song by Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds that was already used in an earlier montage. It would basically become Scream's unofficial theme song, appearing in all of the films but the fourth one. It's also used as the theme to Peaky Blinders, but it'll always be the Scream song to me. As for Woodsboro, it's played by the city of Santa Rosa, located about an hour north of San Francisco. Woodsboro High was supposed to be played by Santa Rosa High School, but even though the school staff agreed to it, the school board shot it down.
They didn't really want to glorify violence against children.
This isn't necessarily just a case of pearl clutching, though. The city, which had a
children.
This isn't necessarily just a case of pearl clutching, though. The city, which had a town hall meeting to discuss the school's use in the production, was still reeling from the case of Polly Kloss, a 12-year-old from a nearby town who had recently been kidnapped and murdered. Craven.
Oh, okay. I take my boo back. I'm sorry. I didn't know about the history. I'll take it back. Never mind. You guys had a reason. Understandable. My fault.
Said later on that in retrospect, he understood their concerns, but he was pretty pissed by the last-minute pullout at the time, thus the peculiarity at the end of the credits saying no thanks whatsoever to the school board. Instead, the high school was played by a community center in the nearby Sonoma. An hour into the film, we make our way there, folks. The party at 261 Turner Lane, one of the coolest third-act locations for a horror film ever. We spend more than 40 minutes at Stu's spacious, twisty farmhouse, all of which is shot on location at a house now known as the Spring Hill Estate. Located in Tamales, this spacious farmhouse sits on a hill super isolated from anything around it. In one of the top 3 coolest things we've ever done with Decade, in November 2021, Chelsea and I were flown out to the Scream house and stayed there overnight. We were amazed at how much the action of the movie matched the house's real layout. We made a damn good video walking through what happens where. Make sure you check it out sometime. There's no better way to make a party lame, though, than the presence of a cop and a reporter. Dewey's here to—
That must be great for him to be able to go to a scene to one of his movies, one of the series that he loves a lot. James A Janisse. Yeah, I said it right. I think I said it right. Good for him. Good for him and his wife. Good.
There's no better way to make a party lame, though, than the presence of a cop and a reporter. Dewey's here to play protector, but Gail's guile gets her into the party with him.
You're underage, son. I'm kidding. Have a good time. What's the driving?
There, she plants a camera pointed at a bunch of drunk teenagers. Gail, you were just asking for legal troubles. Later, she learns her teen feed has a 30-second delay, like she were living in the post-Nipplegate world. Speaking of nips, Tatum heads to the garage to re-up her boyfriend on brewskis. While she's in there, a Ghostface appears, ready to do his best David Byrne.
Oh, I didn't know what the scene is.
Psycho killer?
Things start getting serious, enough for a party foul. And after the steel gets broken out, Tatum has no choice but to fight back. Ghostface, you're the sloppiest match.
Ghostface is one of the worst killers
You're covered in
ever.
beer, and you're doing clown stunts and shit. Ghostface gets the last laugh when Tatum tries to crawl out through a cat door while
that's why you mentioned that door scene.
She's stuck as the killer turns on the world's strongest garage door motor, and killed when she's crushed against the roof of the garage. Even Ghostface is like, wow, that really worked?
Yeah,
this
that
memorable
shouldn't have
kill
worked.
was a bit difficult to do. They had to nail Rose McGowan to the inside of the garage door so she wouldn't fall out. She clearly fits through it most of the time. They used a fake body for the ultimate crushing shot, which had to be cut from the theatrical release.
Oh, that's
the MPAA kept threatening to give Scream an NC-17. Craven and editor Patrick Lussier had to recut and resubmit it 9 times in order to get the R rating. The party clears out as the trash is brought in. Billy Loomis, looking as greasy as ever. Stu offers them his parents' bedroom.
Look at Saw. I know Saw came up in another movie. I think they're coming out with a movie. Look at Saw. Oh gosh. Things have changed.
Trash is brought in. Billy Loomis, looking as greasy as ever. Stu offers them his parents' bedroom, and Sid takes him up on the opportunity. She apologizes to Billy for her chastity, saying she was afraid of becoming like her mother. I always forget how much Maureen Prescott's promiscuity is mentioned in this movie. Well, nothing like talking about your mom's sex life to get you in the mood.
I guess, do what you gotta do.
Finally goes to Pound Town with Billy, which is not what you're supposed to do if you're in a horror movie, according to Randy downstairs. He interrupts a viewing of Halloween to go over the rules of surviving a horror film. No sex is number 1, followed by no drugs or alcohol. And finally, you can never say I'll be right back.
Because you won't be back.
I'm getting another beer. You want one?
Yeah, sure.
I'll be right back.
Gail's not into this meta shit, so she leaves with Dewey. He's checking out a car reported on the side of the road. The party dies down more, and the last guests leave after they hear that Principal Himbry's body is hanging from the school's flagpole. In fact, this is why Himbry was killed in the first place. It was a late addition to the script, done solely to clear out the last of the party extras. On their way out, the teens drive Dewey and Gail from the side of the road.
They are about to hit
together. Ooh, these two about to be horizontally dancing in the dark. The romance is cut short when they find the reported car, owned by Sydney's still missing father. Everybody's a suspect! Sydney and Billy are debriefing from their bone sesh when her suspicions start to match how her body felt a few minutes ago. Aroused. They're quelled when Ghostface appears in the ghost flesh and flays Billy's torso with a knife. He calls out for Sid, then collapses, kicking off an elaborate chase scene through the house. Awesome chase scenes are a staple of
There's no kill count. He didn't die, I don't think. He didn't show up.
Motif off strong. Again, check out the video we did to see how much it follows the place's real layout. Sydney winds up falling backwards onto a big old boat mattress, and the sight of Tatum's corpse sends her fleeing from the farmhouse. She takes refuge inside the news van with Gail's intrepid cameraman Kenny. Kenny's been around the entire film, just getting abused by Gail. He's played by prolific character actor W. Earl Brown, who also played a morgue attendant in Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Dude put on 20 pounds to play Kenny, since the script had Gail berating him with fat jokes. Ghostface nearly murders
that dedication right there to gain
talking to
pounds
Jamie
like
Lee Curtis on the TV. It becomes meta when applied to his own actor, Jamie Kennedy.
Behind you. Behind you, Jamie, turn around.
This is one of the only shots where Ghostface isn't played by a stunt performer. Another is a shot in the opening scene. Director Craven wears the masks when Casey hits him with the phone, dick! Otherwise, Ghostface was primarily played by 3 stunt performers. Dane Farwell seems to have done most of the work in chase scenes, and had the idea of wiping off the bloody blade after stabs to avoid continuity errors. Lee Waddell played Ghostface at the start of production, so he did the opening scene and the attack on Principal Himbry. Finally, stunt coordinator Tony Cesari played Ghostface for the next kill that's about to happen. Cesari was previously on the kill count, doing that amazing fire stunt.
I will never do a fire stunt, never.
Sid and Kenny watch as Ghostface lingers over Randy, but due to the delay, Ghostface is already at the van and murders Kenny.
Oh, I forgot the 30-second
Brown's
delay.
look of shock was so convincing, the MPAA demanded it be cut from the theatrical version.
gosh, MPAA.
Sydney leaves the dead wood behind her and pieces out through the van's escape tunnel, which is not scaled for Ghostface size. Dewey and Gail get back, and while Dewey investigates the now empty house, Gail finds evidence of ne'er-do-welling. Randy pops up and she hits him with the phone, dick! Then finds out Kenny's body is on the roof of the van. Stuck up there something good, too. She has to Tokyo drift it off.
Goodness
that
gracious.
and a flailing Sydney in the road causes Gail to crash the van against a tree. Did I do that? Sydney gets back to the house to see Dewdrop stumble out with a knife in his back. Ghostface retrieves his weapon and continues the chase into another vehicle.
Wipe the blood off again.
Damn, dude, you two have been going at it for so long. It's like, will they, won't they already, right? All this running around was taxing as hell. The whole last act, everything at Stu's house, was a single scene in the script that took 21 nights to shoot at the
21 nights?
When we finished it, we had t-shirts made, I survived scene 118.
Sydney can't trust anyone anymore, what with Randy and Stu both accusing the other of being the killer. Everybody's a suspect! She curses them both as she locks them outside. Billy stumbles out of the bedroom upstairs and all the way down the stairs. Good job, bro. He takes the gun from Sydney and lets Randy back inside so he can show off his best psycho impression.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
With that, he shoots Randy and reveals himself as the killer.
Oh, he was the killer. Oh, wow. I lied.
Behind Randy a few minutes ago. Billy reveals that all his blood is just corn syrup and that the stabbing was faked. And who was his accomplice, Ghostface, for that ruse?
Surprise.
I know he was gonna Ghostface.
Yeah, but was it really a surprise?
I knew he was
Let's
gonna
be real. Billy and Stu have looked like murderers in pretty much every scene they're in. Look at that knowing glance. But to be fair, it's easy to say this in hindsight. I literally can't remember a time I didn't know it was them. With the killers revealed, we get a full 5 minutes in hell as Sydney is tormented by these two, who clearly love each other, by the way, or at least Stu loves Billy. It's probably unrequited. They reveal that they're the ones who murdered Sydney's mom a year ago, then framed that guy Cotton Weary.
It was fun.
While frivolity may have been Stu's only motive, the scene gets more deranged as Billy reveals his. He says his father had been having an affair with Sydney's mother.
She's the reason my mom moved out and abandoned me.
Skeet Ulrich's seriousness is perfectly balanced by Matthew Lillard's camp. Lillard's playing everything as loud as possible, fucking spitting all over the place. Some people think it's annoying, but I think it's art.
It's a scream, baby. Hold on a sec. I'll be right back.
I think it adds to like the most to the ranges. You got a serious guy over here, Billy, and then you got the range. Like, he just animated all over the place, but he's also a killer. I forgot his name already, but yeah.
Even Lillard has his doubts sometimes, though.
I go back and watch that. I'm like, first of all, I weigh 80 pounds. Second of all, I spit my way through the whole thing.
He comes back with Sydney's father, who they're gonna frame for these murders. But first, they've got to seem like they're survivors, so they play a round of stomach stabs. It's really the best way to build a friendship. Wow, Billy really wants to be Stu's friend, huh? All that bro love is making Stu
crazy.
I'm feeling woozy here. Gal shows up with a gun, having made her way back to the house from the accident.
Hey, great Gal, great.
On, so Billy's
Gal, no. Jeez, that's a powerful kick.
Before he shoots her dead, they realize Sydney's gotten away. She calls with the voice changer to taunt them, and it angers Billy so much, he forgets how to hang up properly.
Fucking hit me with the phone, dick!
K&B Effects used over 50 gallons of fake blood for Scream, a lot of which was used in this finale. It's actually what led to that line.
These little improv moments came out of because he hit me with the phone. You know, it slipped out of his hands because it was bloody.
Whether written or improvised, this scene is full of Lillard lines.
I love a funny improv scene.
Quote to fucking death.
My mom and dad are gonna be so mad.
Sydney emerges from the closet to stab Billy with an umbrella. That scream from Ulrich is real.
Who's from the closet?
My mom and dad are gonna be so mad.
Sydney emerges from the closet to stab Billy with an umbrella. That scream from Ulrich is real. Nev Campbell, or the stunt performer, missed the protective vest he was wearing and accidentally actually stabbed him. Stu tags in, but after a tussle over the couch, Sydney breaks a vase over his head and dumps a TV on him. It Daniel fries him to death. Zoinks! I'm gonna go ahead and count him here, even though Stu's survival has long been up for discussion. He returned in an early draft of Scream 3, and Lillard has said he'd love to return for Scream 6, which comes out in just a few months.
Oh, that's okay. He's already out there.
Tell the people that make these decisions I'm available.
But if he's alive in that movie, I don't want any of you future fucks leaving comments saying I got it wrong.
No, I'm gonna leave a comment.
With what I know.
I'm gonna leave a comment.
Finds out that Randy's still alive, and Randy's face finds out that Billy's fist is still alive.
Ooh.
Sid fingers his wound, and he's shot down by Bill. Randy warns them not to get too comfortable.
Double tap.
The moment when the supposedly dead killer comes back to life.
Yep.
For one last scare.
Sure enough, Billy does, but Sydney puts a bullet in his head.
No, stop that. Stop that.
Like that. All right, who's still living after everything? Sid's dad? Okay, that's cool. Deputy Dewey? All right,
hey, let's
even
go
better.
Dewey.
Especially since that wasn't always the case.
When we shot the final scene, so I came out on the stretcher and I was dead. And then Wes did a second take and he said, you know what, just kind of give a nod or something. Shows that you're still alive.
It was a last-minute idea from Craven to keep Dewey alive. And man, am I glad he did. Love
Good job, Craven.
The sun begins to rise as emergency vehicles arrive, and the movie ends with Gal Weathers giving a first-hand report on the Woodsboro murders.
So
How many
Gal was
horror
right
characters should have seen their deaths coming? Let's find
they
out.
gotta be
The numbers. Oh, you can just stay right there, though. I'll be right back.
Okay. The numbers. I think it was
There were
7,
7
right?
kills in
7.
Scream, a solid single-digit start for the series.
Oh, you changed
the victims
animation,
consisted of 5 men and 2 women, so a more than 2-to-1 ratio of dudes. This count and gender breakdown was only seen once before, in that Boy Meets World episode I covered. Remember that? Good times.
I do not.
With a runtime of 111 minutes, that left us with a kill on average every 15.86 minutes. I'll give the Golden Chainsaw for coolest kill to Casey Becker. Lots of great kills in this movie.
That makes sense.
I've gotta give top honors to the one that scarred me as a child.
God. Yeah,
Almost for lamest kill will go to Principal Himbry. It's not very
that makes
good.
sense. Yeah, it's just like a couple stabs.
And that's it. Scream came out 5 days before Christmas in 1996. It didn't have a great opening, but it actually made more money in its subsequent weekends.
Oh, wow.
Great word of mouth kept it in theaters for 31 weeks, all the way to May. It grossed more than $100 million.
Very nice,
Sure,
very
the
nice.
speedy sequel the next year. I'll look at that next week, but until then, I'm James A Janisse. This has been the Kill Count. Hey everybody, thanks a lot for watching this Kill Count.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun to watch.
Wedding ring, I mean, it's been a little bit since I filmed one, and also, I don't know, Billy Loomis doesn't wear a wedding ring, so I was just in character. Thank you for your patience with the start of this year. It's not been a very good start of the year, but, you know, we're back on it with the recounts, and of course, this
life, you know, I understand.
2022 Kill Count. And then after that, the plan is to continue with weekly Kill Counts of new movies that we've never covered before, so isn't that exciting? Also, in case you don't follow me on on Twitter, which you should, at DeadMeatJames, we are planning to see the return of the Dead Meat Horror Awards this year. We even hired a new producer on the Dead Meat staff, and her first job is just to get the awards going. So welcome MK to the staff.
Okay,
I want to thank some patrons
I've
like
never seen
C.
the award thing
Renfield,
that they did
Trojan
before.
Tom, Jaden, William Faulkner, Ben Rosenthal, Boots, Brute Spartan, Nitpicks, Elisa, Nicole Smith, and Henry McCready. Thanks everyone. Be good people.
Okay, nice. Okay. Oh no, cancel. Okay. Cool. Yeah, cause I remember the end of the movie, like how there's two basic killers of the movie. I knew it was gonna be Stu. I forgot Billy was the second one, or he was another killer, or Scream. Yeah, good movie. This was such a difference from, again, back in those days, because I think Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street and Halloween came out. But this is like a not like a what do you call it? What's that word called? Because Scary Movie did it. Is it a spoof? Is that the term? Spoof? I can't think of the actual term. We're gonna say spoof for now. I can't think of the word. But Scary Movie is not a spoof, but it has like spoof elements where it's like, oh, you want to do that in a movie because, like, again, with a double tapping of Billy, usually in other horror movies they would shoot the person once and walk away, and the killer would be like, yep, I'm not dead, haha. But nah, Sidney was like, yeah, no, let's not confirm this. Double tap when he wakes up, boom, there he goes, he's dead. Some other stuff, like you go through the front door. Even that one guy who was like, listen to 3 rules you don't want to do in a scary movie. I know the kill count was pretty low, but usually in these types of like movies, like the sequels and later on, they get ridiculous numbers. Like a lot of people just be dying, like in the season 2, or not season 2, in the sequel or the future movies, like getting the double digits, maybe 30 kills at one point. I don't know. I saw one kill count where it was like triple digits or maybe four digit numbers. I'm like, whoa, what's going on here in this movie? He was like, I couldn't even count all the kills that happened here. I gotta make an estimation. There we go, estimation. I don't know what I said earlier. Fun times right here, fun times. Give that a big old like, Yeah, in case you wasn't aware, he is definitely a horror fan. He loves his horror movies, in case you wasn't aware. I think I watched the kill count for Scream, but I was like, not the recount. That was like the 6-year one. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this series, we can keep it going, have some more Dead Meat on the channel, because that'd be great to hear, or great to see. Even after October, we can still watch some more Dead Meat stuff, because I love it. Again, I haven't watched a lot of horror movies. I haven't watched a lot of movies in general. But we're gonna wrap it up here. Hope you enjoyed my reaction. Hope you enjoyed the kill count. Yeah. Thank you for watching. MyCupOfTea is out of here. And deuces, everybody. Man, I forgot how like crazy. No, I forgot how clumsy Scream is. Ghostface. I forgot how clumsy he is. He just be getting beat quickly. Like, yeah, nah, he's not even that. He doesn't have supernatural power, so he's just a normal person with a knife. And he over here falling on refrigerators, getting hit by a frozen door, ice door, whatever. Getting hit by a beer, slipping and falling. But if he grabs you, you might die. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. Maybe he might get some supernatural powers in the future. Hopefully he doesn't. We'll see. We'll see.